ever skipped the beach because you hated the idea of putting on a bathing suit or stood on the sidelines at a party because you're too self-conscious to dance? It's like your weight isn't just holding you back, it's keeping you from living your life. Hi, I'm Coach Mo, and I know exactly how that feels. Feeling stuck, frustrated, and like nothing is ever going to change. I went from being 65 pounds overweight and feeling trapped in my body to not only losing that weight, but keeping it off for over 15 years simply by loving myself and creating a healthy, sustainable life that I truly enjoy. It's not because I'm perfect or have endless willpower. I'm just like you. I have faced those doubts, that frustration, and that fear of failure. I went from feeling stuck and less than to feeling worthy and confident and empowered by living a healthier lifestyle, and I know you can too. Learn how to make simple, healthy changes that will fit into your busy life. Discover how to lose weight without feeling deprived or overwhelmed. Finally, break free from dieting and create results that last. Picture this. You're finally saying yes. Yes to the beach, yes to the dance floor, and yes to you. This could be the moment that changes everything. Your best health is closer than you think. Hey everyone, I'm Mo Cooper. I'm your health and wellness coach. I'm so excited to be here. This is about incorporating it into your life, and I get so excited by that. So, if we have never met IRL in real life, then I'm so happy you're here. I'm so excited to share with you how I lost 65 pounds and have kept it off for over 15 years. We have a lot of great content today, and I'm going to jump right into it. It's going to be interactive. So if you're here, turn on your camera so we can see each other's faces. Human connection, community is so important when we want to achieve greatness. And we want to surround ourselves with people who are going to inspire us, who are going to lift us up, who are going to believe in our journey. And that's exactly what we're building here today. So every little beautiful face that I see here today, I know that you are in it to win it, this thing called life. And it's so exciting for that you're here, and we're going to do this, and it's going to be 90 minutes of awesomeness. There's going to be a time for Q&A at the very end. I really encourage you to stay to the very end and get some personal one-on-one coaching from me, because my goal is for you to succeed, because if you succeed, I succeed, and we all win in the end, which is amazing. So I'm going to get started here. I'd love to know where you're coming from physically and mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Who's excited to find out how your best health, your weight loss is hiding in your calendar? Put me in the chat if that is you. Awesome. Yes, 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 yes. I love it. All right, so your best health is hiding in your calendar. So discover the simple shifts that turn chaos into consistency and calm. We want to be calm. And we're going to talk about that. So from chaos to clarity, why I teach calendar-based health. It sounds so goofy. It's like calendar-based. Everyone's talking about the latest diet and eat this, don't eat that, which, we go into, but it's in your calendar. It really is. So I lost over 65 pounds and kept it off, like I said before, over 15 years using this method, using my calendar as my pillar, my anchor in the storm, because life can be chaotic. Everyone has time. And that's what makes it so amazing, because we're all starting on the same page, which is awesome. I realized that using my calendar didn't restrict me, but liberated me. I had a client years ago who said, "Oh, I don't want to live a super regimented life like you." She thought that having anchors in your day was going to restrict her, but the opposite is true. And many, many gurus have confirmed that when you have these established things in your daily life, it liberates you. And that's exciting. I love to be liberated. So I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at the age of 29, but I transformed my life starting at 39. So I got there eventually, but managing my health has become a non-negotiable. And we're going to talk about non-negotiables in your life. I'm talking to you when I say that having non-negotiables in your life is what's going to increase the quality of your life exponentially. So that was me in 2008.
And because I'm tall, it doesn't look like a lot of extra weight, but it was a lot of extra weight. And I felt lost in my body. I didn't know who I was anymore. This is why I had to make some change. You have to have your meaning. You have to have your why. And we're going to talk about what your why is in a little bit, but it has to be for you. I created the Mo Glow formula to help women finally be free from diets, shame, and restriction once and for all so that you can feel free too, so that you can live a life of lightness. I mean, it's just not physical lightness, but spiritual, emotional, and physical. And that is awesome. It is good. I mean, is my life perfect? Heck no, of course not. No one's life is perfect, but we're going to talk about progress over perfection as well. So here's what we'll cover today: why your health struggles aren't your fault. This is not your fault. There's a lot of reasons for it. How time, not effort, is your missing link. If you've tried the diets, if you have tried every little gimmick out there, you've tried the pills, the shots, and just keep falling off. You get on, you get off, you get on, you get off. And the good news is you figured out all the ways how to not do it. And that's awesome. That's just evidence. There is no failure, it's only feedback. So everything you've done that hasn't worked up until this point in time is just feedback. You know what doesn't work, so I'm going to show you what does. And a simple method to reset your weekly rhythm. You don't even have to be a good dancer for this one. Lord knows I'm not, but give me a couple shots of tequila and I do become an amazing dancer. But your rhythm is in your calendar, it's in your time and how you spend it. So, yes, I just saw Nina. I hate diets. Like Garfield, diet is die with a T. Nobody wants diets. The invitation to your next set summer ready reset. Say that 5 times real fast. At the end of this, I'm going to tell you about my summer ready reset. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can work with me, but we're also going to do a Q&A. So stay all the way to the end so we can just milk this for all it's worth because it's going to be great. All right, let's move on. So if anyone has downloaded the workbook, you can actually toggle back and forth and you got and Google if you can print it off. I have mine printed off here so that I can reference it as we go through, or you can just think about it. Even just a pad of paper, you can answer the questions as we go along. We're going to have some time to answer the questions that are in the workbook so you can go a little deeper. I mean, who here has succeeded in high school, college, some sort of trade? Anyone here been to school? Yes, yes, yes. You have learned a trade, you have learned a skill. And so this is no different. Your health is no different. Writing things down, it's going to make it stick better. It's going to help you reflect on why you're here, what you want to achieve, what your next step is. So all these things are really purposeful. We want you to be invested in your future. Writing it down and being connected to these ideas we're going to talk about is really important. So, there are 5 pillars of health. Which health pillar are you neglecting the most? We got mindset. I used to be the most negative Nelly and say, I could never run a marathon. I could never put together an IKEA cabinet. I could never lose the weight and keep it off when everyone else isn't doing it. What makes me so special? Is it your nutrition? You just don't know how to eat, or it seems like everything you put in your mouth gains 5 pounds? Is it stress management? Are you just in fight or flight all the time, like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs? Is that you? Is it your stress management? Is it your movement or is it your sleep? I have a goal to get in 10,000 steps every day this summer. Today's not one of those days, but getting to sleep, having better sleeps, having a better sleep schedule. What is it about you? So in your notebook or in here, you can write down which area you're struggling with the most. And that's going to come up later. Section 1: why what you're doing isn't working. This is good. We want to know why things don't work, right? If your car is busted down, you want to know what's the problem. So have you ever followed all the rules and still not gotten results? Put yes in the chat if that is you. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything and still falling short? It's like that scene in European Vacation where it's Big Ben Parliament just can't get left. Like you're trying all the things and it's just not landing. So I'm going to tell you a tale of 2 calendars. And the key word is structure. Now, keep an open mind. Remember what I said about that woman whose life was chaos on a stick? God bless her. She did get it together finally. She did believe me when I told her that she could be liberated by her calendar. And so remember, structure is a good thing. 2 calendars, same path. Calendar 1 is chaos. Y'all, I am a post-it note junkie, but I make sure if I scribble something down on a post-it note, I put it on my calendar and it goes in my paper calendar or my digital calendar. I make sure that happens. This is calendar one, the chaos calendar. It's all over the place. You write everything down, but you can't find the list. Y'all, I found so many lists when I cleaned out my office before I moved. Oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. Post-it notes have taken over like a zombie apocalypse. And no idea what is coming down the pipe today, let alone this week. Now, to be fair, y'all, it's summertime, right? Summertime equals a certain amount of chaos, especially if your kids are still in school. Because suddenly I feel like I have to reinvent the wheel. No, I just need to stick to the same calendar. Just because the teenager is home all the time doesn't mean that I can just go all willy-nilly and forget my non-negotiables, the pillars in my calendar, which we're going to talk about. So, yes, here's the good news. Now is the time to really lean into those pillars, to really create those anchors, those pillars in the storm, so that you have some semblance of sanity. Because otherwise, you're yelling at the kids, you're yelling at your husband, you're yelling at your neighbor, and it's just, again, chaos on a stick. I hesitate to show you my actual calendar. If you look at my calendar, you can see where I have lunch. You can see where I have my work going for my errands. I had coffee with a good friend. I packed in time for myself. I pack in time for breakfast. All my workouts are up there. My day starts at 4:10 or 4:30, depending on the day. That's not for everyone. I know it. Dinner is written in my calendar. And then I have a column I created on the side to say what actually happened versus what I had scheduled. It doesn't always work out. But then I have a better idea of how I'm spending my time. My morning and evening routines are carved out. I know exactly what I'm doing every morning and every evening. Meals are planned. I plan them every Sunday. So that way there's no wrenches in the work. I look at my calendar, I see what's going on. Exercise is blocked in. I make sure that my workouts are in my calendar. I'm going to add walking in this summer too. And this calendar is real and shows what matters. So this is my real, looks chaotic, that makes me tired looking at your calendar. Oh no, yeah, Royce, you're a busy woman. I know what your calendar is like, but you have created those pillars in your life. You have done the things that you need to do when you have breakfast, when you do your exercise, when you see your emails, when you focus on your volunteer work. That is key. Yes, it is chaotic, but works for me. So it's going to be what works for you. And everything's color coded. Pink is always my daughter. I'm purple. When the kids were little and I had three kids going in three different directions, my husband was blue, my oldest was red, my middle son was green, and Holly was pink. It's coming up with a system that works for you. And yes, totally do this electronically. I do this electronically on my Google Calendar for sure. So, how do we get from chaos to calm? I love this quote by Gary John Bishop. He wrote the book on yourself, which is a very good read. If you are stuck in your head all the time, it's a really excellent book. But think about that. I am not my thoughts. All these things that we think about ourselves, and we're going to talk about that in a second here. All these limiting beliefs, all those things that have been put on us. We are not our thoughts. We are what we do. So it's about time to take action. It's about action. And remember, my calendar is chaotic because I'm doing everything myself. So hopefully, for those of you that have spouses, hopefully it'll diffuse some of the chaos in your life. But yeah, I'm doing everything myself. And some days are better than others. So it's always about progress, not perfection. So the three sneaky calendar mistakes: overcommitting to others. Who here overcommits? Oh my gosh. When I was full-time volunteer, full-time stay-at-home mom, I was always stretched so thin and overcommitting. And even in my business, can anyone else relate to being overcommitted? Yes, awesome. Ignoring recovery and rhythm, ignoring your needs, where you are, what you need every day, you. You're like, wait, me? No, 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 no. You don't understand. I have all these other commitments. I don't have time for me. Has anyone ever thought I don't have time for me out loud? Because I think subconsciously, but I don't know if you've done it consciously. No visual health strategy in your week. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was just talking to someone yesterday and we're trying to get it roped in what that looks like, what that health strategy looks like in your week. Because it doesn't have to be huge. Y'all, I do not work out that much. I know people look at my shoulders and like, you work out 7 days a week. No, I don't, because you saw my calendar. So that ain't happening. So would you agree it's easier to schedule others then prioritize yourself. Yes, totally. Especially when taking care of elderly parents and kids and a biz. Yeah, for sure. It's so easy to put other people first. It's also like cleaning someone else's closet. There's no personal attachment. It's easier to do someone else's work than it is your own. But why is that? I mean, honestly, so does your calendar reflect your health or just everyone else's needs? I want you to give that some thought. When we look at our calendar, what does that tell you? Y'all, I told you, my workouts, my meals, including snacks, and when I'm going to bed, and dinner, and when I'm having downtime. I call it moho time at night because my daughter and I chill out at the end of the evening and make time to see girlfriends and make time to do the things that serve my soul, listen to music while you're making dinner, like rocking it out in your kitchen. That's not just movement, it's stress relief. There's so many things that we can do. So, why this happens, why we prioritize everyone else, it's not your fault. I heard this really great thing and I really wanted to put it in here because I thought it was so cool. So, I jammed this in here today. Seeking your highest self. We just talked about why does this happen? Why does all these other things happen? These priorities that aren't us happen? Seeking your highest self, what we do speaks volumes. So, they did this test where they rated people's vibrations in this cage thing that they go into. And you, because we have energy, right? We emit energy. And they thought that the thing that would raise the vibrational frequency the highest was love and then compassion. No, it's authenticity. When you are the most you, where you feel calm, you feel the planets aligned, you just feel like everything is boom diggity, that is when your frequency is the highest. And maybe serving all the people and the kids and all the business and everything is tapping into the authenticity because you're in flow. But when you're doing it just to check a box and it's not fulfilling you, that's going to affect your health, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and your emotional health. So I want you to think about that because we wear so many masks in the day. Getting in touch with our authentic self is the key to lasting success at weight loss and health. And we lose ourselves in the demands of all the roles put upon us in life: spouse, mother, daughter, sister, boss, coworker. But where is you? You. Where do you fall into all of these? Like the most authentic self. And really quickly, I want to share this with you. This little girl here, that's me at 18 months after I busted out of my crib, I busted out of my room, I busted out of the country cabin we were staying in, and I went and got to my sandpa. At 18 months old, I did that. And I have this on my desk because I look at this little girl every morning, my meest me, and say, she's determined, she has a vision, she goes after it, she lets nothing stand in her way. And that is what I mean by your you is you. So getting back to your authentic self, it makes everything easier because then you're treating yourself like that most precious loved one. Like that little girl is me. So your you is you is in there waiting to succeed, waiting to show up and be seen and to love yourself. So there's a reason we lose touch with ourselves. Belief system. This is from Jim Quick, also another great book. He talks about belief systems. But what are belief systems? They're BS because these are ideas that have been cast upon us. Has anyone ever had a thought about themselves that you realize, I'm 54. So I've got a few years under my belt, and it took me a long time to realize that there were things about me that just weren't true. They're just things that people were telling me all these years because of how they saw me, but they're not me. So, who here has an idea about themselves that it's just not true, that you realize just isn't true? You're not lazy. You're not bad with money. Yes, all the time. My first thoughts are usually wrong or not mine. Yes, the mother, the father, the sister, the aunt, the uncle, the family member that put these ideas in it's like, no, it's BS. So let's make shift happen. We're going to shift the idea of who we are. Because guess what? We get to decide. We live in a world where everything is based on external validation, where we're looking for approval from everyone around us. I learned at the age of 50, wait a second, what I think matters. What I think about me matters. Now we get feedback from people around us, our trusted loved ones, and they say like, "Mo, you're going off the rails." Like, we need to have that alternate perspective, but at the end of the day, you have to live with you. Nobody else. You are stuck with you for the rest of your life. So why not make you the best you ever? So we're going to make that shift. We're going to talk about how we identify. Forget what everybody else says. How do you identify? So section 2 is mindset and identity. So this is in your book. So the identity shift. Have you ever said any of the following? I'm not a morning person. I always fall off. I don't have willpower. I don't have time. Let's reframe that. Does anyone said I don't have willpower? Like anyone? I'm sure that if you're watching this, you have said this at some time. So we're going to reframe each one of these right now. So, for example, I'm not a morning person. I'm building a morning I can actually enjoy. Think about that. I want you to feel that shift. And it's not even about willpower when we structure things into our day, when we make things automatic, that we condition ourselves, we create these habits that serve our well-being, then willpower is not, it's not really about willpower, it's about discipline. And so it's about discipline and just being consistent, doing small things. Do not try to do everything at once. It's a recipe for disaster. It's like juggling 15 balls. Like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And then everything starts falling apart. And then you just feel exhausted and face down in a bucket of Ben and Jerry's. We want to do small things, reframing things. I don't have willpower. Say, we want something, we will find a way. Absolutely. So you just need to tap into that energy. Does it take practice? Heck yeah. Say it's simple, it's just not easy. But when we practice these habits, that's the magic of what we do. I always fall off, or I figure out what doesn't work and I move forward. That's the way it was. Notice I don't have time in there. I put that in there on purpose because I'm here to tell you, you do have time. You just got to figure out how you're using your time, which is a great segue to the next section. So, identity. This is from Atomic Habits. I read a lot of books on personal development because I want to show up in my best self. Am I perfect? No. We're not going for perfection ever, 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 ever. I don't even know if it exists. It's like Yeti, Sasquatch, Bigfoot. I don't know if it exists, but we can always shoot for finding it. So, identify how we begin to create change. Identity is how we begin to create change. So, he talks about the 3 layers of behavioral change. So this is based in psychology. So we have the identity, and then the next layer is processes. So those are your habits, your practices every day, and then the outcome. So we tend to focus on, I want to lose 15 pounds. And then you think, I need to create the habits that are going to help me lose 15 pounds so that I can become a more fit person. But he says we need to flip the script. First, you identify. So in your workbook, how do you identify, right? Thinking of 3 layers of behavior change. What is a new identity? How would you identify as a person who has willpower? So you could say, I'm a person who has willpower. I'm a person who prioritizes my health. I'm a reader. I'm a runner. I'm a fit person. I mean, it's funny because my clients will call me and they'll say, sometimes I find myself asking, well, what would Mo do? Yes. What would a fit person do? And then when you become that fit person, it's like, I am a fit person. You can do that by asking those questions. What would a fit person do? What would a book reader do? What would a marathon runner do? You identify as that thing that you want. I am a healthy person. I am a strong person. So that identity is going to drive those habits. That's going to get you to that outcome. Do you see how that works? I have implemented this in my own life and it works. It works because when you start seeing yourself as a speaker, I now identify as a speaker. And so, as identifying as a speaker, what am I going to do to get more speaking gigs? What do I need to do to get out in front of audiences, to empower people, to light them up, to show them all the ways that they can show up for their life and be healthier and happier and live a fulfilled, healthy life? So, this is my mission. So, you have your mission, and it starts with how you identify. It's a simple thing, but it's so powerful. So, what identity do you currently have that you are ready to let go of? Like I said, I always come back to finances. I say all the time, I'm terrible with finances. And I think, so now I say, I am not very practiced at finances, but I'm learning all the time. So I am sound in my finances. I am good at my finances. So wherever you are, how can you switch to that identity that you want and let go of the identity that just doesn't serve your well-being? It just doesn't serve your health. Calendar, confidence, connection. Time is your gateway to results. Y'all are here because time is on your side. Thank you, Mick Jagger. Time is on your side. There's just a few little things we need to address. So, do you believe your time is valuable, even if you don't always treat it that way? I put that in the workbook because I want you to really think about that. Do you believe your time is valuable? I always talk about the two most precious things that we have in our life, and I don't mean your little darlings or your dogs or your spouse or whatever. I mean, they are definitely precious for sure. But the two things that are most precious in your life is your time and your health. Like Count Rogan says in The Princess Bride, if you haven't got your health, you haven't got anything. But in real life, I know a woman, she was a millionaire. She lived in this spectacular mansion. And I remember talking to her one day and she said, I'd give anything for a healthy heart. She wasn't a candidate for a heart transplant. I don't know why, but she wasn't. And she said, you cannot buy health. You cannot buy a new heart. You can invest time and money into your health so that you can live a fulfilled life, which is amazing. And it all starts in your calendar. How are you spending your time? So these two things you cannot get back. You cannot cheat. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the time, but it leads to a fulfilled life. And that's amazing. Now, y'all, I can get hooked into Netflix on the weekends. I'm a little looser. I don't have any pillars. I get my walk in. I keep it loose on the weekend. But man, I gotta watch it because I can go down that slippery slope real easy. So it's just about mindfulness. But minding your time, mind the time. That's what Mr. Rogers used to say is important. So time awareness. Great segue, Mo. Okay, so time isn't the problem. It's what you're plugging it into it. Raise your hand if you've ever played Candy Crush. I don't play Candy Crush because it scares me. It's like cocaine. I would never try cocaine because I'm afraid I'd really, really like it. So it might be hard to believe that I'm not on any stimulant, but I'm not. Well, a little bit of coffee maybe. So time isn't a problem. It's what you're plugging it into. So where does your time really go every day? Now, unless you're working three jobs, becoming a surgeon, raising three kids on your own, living in the Bronx, taking the train in and out of work and school every day. I mean, you have time. You have time. You saw my calendar. You saw my calendar. It's coconuts. But there's time for sleep. There's time for food. There's time for stress management. There is time for you in there. Playing Candy Crush, playing Spider Solitaire, playing all these games. I do it. Spider Solitaire is my nemesis. I will allow myself to play three games on the weekend, and that's it. Because I have been up at 2 o'clock in the morning playing Spider Solitaire. I had to learn and realize, like, oh my gosh, I'm robbing myself of sleep. I'm robbing myself of quality life just by playing this game. We have to understand where's your time going every day and how much time are you spending managing chaos instead of creating peace. Think about that. How much of your time is going into managing chaos? Where you're just playing whack-a-mole all the time. We're going to talk about this, how a little bit can make everything different. So identify 3 time leaks. And time leaks, I want you to think about that. It's a sinking ship if you don't plug those holes. Scrolling social media while meaning to decompress. I know we think that Reels is decompression, but it's not relaxation, it's distraction, and there's a difference because it's not mindful. Yeah, my time leaks is Netflix. Yeah, I know. It's so true. And a sorting game. Oh God, yeah, no. My sorting game is in my underwear drawer. My socks and underwear. sore throats every weekend. But I get that so much. Those easy things, saying yes out of guilt. Oh my God, who says yes out of guilt? Doing too much multitasking. Now, to be fair, I like to watch my stories while I'm folding laundry. So I do things, I try to be productive. Until my daughter took my walking pad, I was scrolling social media while walking on the walking pad. But how much are you doing that you just don't need to be doing? And can you think of at least one place your time slips away each day? So write that down where you know that you're doing something that just doesn't serve you. So here are three ways to inject calm into the chaos. Small behavior changes. Mel Robbins. Anyone familiar with Mel Robbins? Anyone here? Mel Robbins. She's a guru. She wrote the 5 second rule. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Mel Robbins has the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And since I started using this, I do not sit in bed. And when the alarm goes off, I don't just lie there. I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I get up and I go. I get up, I sit up, I grab my water. I drink about 8 ounces because I put my water bottle on my bedside. I thank God that we got through the night. I thank God for healthy legs that stand and take me to the restroom to answer nature's call. So I get up right away. Anything that you're pausing on, should I go for a walk? Should I just sit here and watch Netflix? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. She was watching a countdown one night, something from Cape Canaveral, a rocket going off. And she had 2 martinis, and she was, so it's easy to lose vision when you've had a couple of martinis. And she saw them count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. And she said, I'm going to do that tomorrow morning because she was staying in bed till all hours. And the next morning, when her eyes peeled open, she did it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And she said she stood up, she got in the middle of the room, she's like, okay, now what do I do? So change is weird. Change is weird. When you start to make these changes and you start to feel a difference, it's gonna feel weird. And it's good weird. It's good to be uncomfortable. So I love those small behavior changes. So those little things when you're sliding into watching Netflix, it's like I should get up off the couch. I really need to make dinner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Go make dinner. And I just get up and start moving. The biggest difference is action. Action's not only good for getting things done, it's good for your mental health. It's good for your emotional health. It's good for your spiritual health because emotional and spiritual is connected. So getting up and doing something, it's going to rewire your brain. Is it the end all and be all? No, but it helps. It helps. Take it from someone recovering depression and anxiety, it helps exponentially. It gives you meaning, it gives you purpose, it gives you a goal. The second thing we're going to talk about is habit stacking. It works. So every morning when I'm brushing my teeth before I get in the shower, I lay out all my makeup. And why do I do this? Because I kept forgetting to use certain things. So I lay it all out, I get in my shower, I get out, and then as I put it on, I put it away. So at the end of it, my bathroom's all clear. It's not chaos, it's nice and calm. And it did, I was just standing there brushing my teeth anyway, and it takes less than 2 minutes to do it. So that's an example of habit stacking. So what it is an anchor. You anchor a new habit to something you're already doing. And brushing your teeth is a great one. Having your morning coffee, something that you do. Driving in the car, taking the kids to school. Those are all things that you can do. So after I brush my teeth, I'll do 1 minute of breathing. Or you can do something while you're brushing your teeth. Listening to an uplifting podcast, doing something, clean off the countertops, do something, attach it to. Right after lunch, I'll go for a 5 minute walk. Get up and move around. If it's hotter than the sun like it is here in Houston, Texas, walk around the house, get up and do something, do some squats, do some wall push-ups, do something, just move. If you don't schedule your habit or stack it with something solid, it vanishes. Recently, someone was talking about a habit, and I was like, I used to do that. Why don't I do that anymore? Because we don't attach it, we don't make it relevant, it just disappears. So think of something that you've done. Can you think of a habit that you used to do that you don't do anymore? And you're wondering, why don't I do that anymore? Does anyone have a habit, right in the chat, a habit they used to do that you're pretty religious about and you just don't do it anymore? Maybe it was going to church, speaking of religion. I don't know. Maybe it was meditating. Maybe it was drinking water when you get up. Maybe it was something really simple because we're always looking for the simple things because the big movements come from small actions for sure. So think of a habit that you used to do that you just don't do anymore. And maybe it doesn't serve you anymore because sometimes we go through phases. I mean, like, I don't color code my calendar so much anymore. Well, now I do it for business, but I used to do it for the kids. I don't do it for kids anymore. So, what is something I used to eat a bagel every morning? Yes. I don't do that anymore. That's a good thing. I used to walk my dogs every morning. I used to drink water when going up and down the stairs, but then I forgot to put the water bottles by the stairs and it disappeared. Yes, so that you were habit stacking, but now I actually forgot to bring my water up and I didn't want to yell at my kid. And now I don't have water, but I do have leftover coffee, so that works too. Everyone stop and drink something. All right. And the third thing is the bookends. 5 minute morning intentional start. Already told you how I start my day. Five, four, three, two, one. Get up and go. I don't actually have to count down anymore because I just do it. I'm like Pavlovian. I just get up and do it. So the morning, how you start your morning. So I get up, I go use the restroom, I go meditate and pray. And then I go to boot camp 3 mornings a week, 4 mornings a week because I coach one of those. What is your morning ritual that you could do? 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay, my prayer and meditation takes a little longer, but even just getting up, drinking water, getting some movement in before you start your day is a great 5 minute morning intentional start. And the key word here is intentional. 5 minute evening wind down. 5 minutes. It could be turning off all the lights. Three gratitudes. I do that every night while I'm brushing my teeth. Three things I'm thankful for from that day. I'll think about all the people. I'll think about y'all. I will think about y'all tonight and be thankful for all y'all being here today. I always think I should tell the people, every person that I see in every day, they're included in my nightly prayers. They're included in my nightly ritual. And I thank God that I got to have that interaction. It just ends the day. So it doesn't have to be anything. Like brushing your teeth, wash your face, get in your jammies, jump into bed, whatever it is. Reading, stretching, something, 5 minutes in an evening wind down. It's so easy to do. Would 5 intentional minutes in the morning shift how you show up for your day? I want you to think about that. If you get up and you're stumbling out and you're yelling at the kids and you're banging on doors and you're like, oh my God, I'm late. How does that feel? What does that feel like when you start your day that way? And people have asked me, how did I start all this? It was with time. And what I realized was the only time of the day that nobody wanted a piece of mommy was before everyone got up. So I started getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I read the 5 a.m. Club. That's another great book. And I got up 5 o'clock in the morning and I had time for myself. And it was like Christmas every day. And it was amazing. Did I have to go to bed a little earlier? Yes. Was it worth it? Yes. But it's gonna be whatever. Maybe for you it's 6, maybe it's 7. Maybe you get that, just to have that time alone and that peace. Being by yourself is a gift. At the end of the day, today I'm proud of myself because I managed to not say to that coworker who stole my lunch again or whatever out of the teacher's lounge. I know a lot of teachers and I hear a lot of stories. Having those little practices in place shifts the energy completely. I started practicing be curious, not judgmental while I'm driving. So every time I want to yell at the other driver, because I can be impatient, I say, be curious, not judgmental. And it has created peace. It creates peace. Peace is the word, man. If your day starts without direction, you've already lost control of it. You need to have intention because you can catch up. You can definitely make up. If you feel disconnect, you can recalibrate. It's easier if you have things that are set in stone in your day within reason. I mean, stuff happens. Having those pillars in place. I had my big breakfast this morning. I've had 24 ounces of water. I've had most of my coffee. These things that we can put in place. It doesn't have to be like serious stuff either. It's fun stuff too. So let's change that. Let's change that energy and on purpose. This is where we get gritty. The health calendar reset. Think of your calendar as your oasis for you. Prioritize your health. Women, especially, have the hardest time doing this. I love my men folks who are like, yeah, of course I'm going to go to the gym. The world could be falling down around them and they're going to go to the gym. And I admire that so much. Of course, that's not all men. It's not all women. I'm not a man and I prioritize my workout time. But women, I mean, sugar and spice, everything nice. We are so ingrained to be people pleasers. We have a hard time prioritizing our health first. It's not narcissistic. It is essential. Putting the oxygen mask on you first. And how you do that is in your calendar, which is why we're here in the first place. So I want you to plug in nutrition, movement, sleep, stress, mindset. Use your pillar calendar to map your real week. So a pillar calendar. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second. Can you see how planning just 1 week differently could create better results? Can you see that? Can you see how taking your time? Oh, I just thought of that. People say, take your time. Take your time. Take back your time. Using your calendar to set up your health goals is huge. Now, you saw my calendar, and my lunch is not the same every day. My snacks are not the same every day. But you better believe when I put in my meetings and my client things and I buffer between meetings so I know I will have a space if anyone is making appointments. After everything is in, I block that time because I'm important. You're important. My health's important. Your health's important. And my health is no more important just because I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis for you that has not been diagnosed with anything. No, because this is just important, period. It is absolutely the most important thing you'll ever have, health and time. So, can you see how planning just 1 week differently could create better results? 1 week. That's all we got. 1 day, 1 week. That's all we have. Do you believe that one small change done consistently matters? Has anyone done one small thing? Drink more water, go for a walk. Yes, totally, Kara. Yes, you're my poster child. These small things, these are going to direct your life. These small things, just how I start my day. So this is an example. So workout, 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 breakfast, breakfast, breakfast. So knows my breakfast, and this is not true. My snacks, lunch, and snack are never always at the same time, but my dinner and breakfast pretty much are. And then I have my wind down. So this is kind of like how you map out your day. And if you don't have any white space for you, something's got to give, because it's going to be your health if it's not something else. Tonight I got bunko. Yeah, I'm going to bunko. And I'm going to get up and coach class tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. And it's going to be rough. But that's not normal. That's not usual. So there's always going to be things that come up. But I'm going because it nurtures my spirit. It's a spiritual and emotional well-being because it's my girls. So having those things plugged in for your well-being is your mental health, your emotional health. So here's a clean slate. Create your own calendar. So you can print out a calendar like this. It's easy to just make a grid and create. I actually have a template that you could use. I just went into Excel and put the months and the time. If you want to get really granular, you can do half hours. But yeah, you can totally make this in Excel. It's super easy. So 5 minutes a day fixes. What if planning didn't feel like pressure, but actually felt like freedom? For your exercise, fill in 1 week using pillars. I don't know if everyone has like a day planner, calendar. Write it out. Write down what you're already doing. Write down your meetings. And then where are you going to put in your health? Where are you going to prioritize your health? Because it's huge. It's huge. It's a big deal. You're a big deal. I used to say to my little Sunday school kids, like I made them bookmarks one year and it says, what you do, you are important and what you do matters. Because I want little kids to know that what you do matters, who you are. Of course, I am, well, recovering Catholic. So I do believe we are most precious children of God, and we need to treat ourselves like most precious children. Client wins and possibility. I'm going to stop the share for a second. I have a few people here. Hi, Kara. I'm so glad you're
Hi,
here. That's
how are
awesome.
you?
I'm good. Kara used to work with me. And so, talking about what we're talking about with time management, what was it like for you before you started implementing these things, and what is it like now?
Yeah, oh my goodness, like that was the biggest change in everything. I think I put in the chat earlier that I've tried so many diets and so many workouts, but I'd never approached things from like a time management perspective. And I'm a pile person, so I would have stacks of things to do. And the thing is, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So I'd leave the stacks out, thinking that that would help me get things done. And
Yes.
Mo transformed the whole system because she presented this great filing system for keeping everything organized by the day, introducing the idea of like simplifying my to-do list, focusing on 3 things each day, get those 3 things done. Anything else is bonus, anything else is extra. So I could let go of the guilt that I had constantly of never getting my list done, and then having the at night doing the brain dump to get everything out of the way, get a plan in place for the next day, having it scheduled out. I love the hour by hour, and yes, the half hour by half hour. Like it's just so helpful to have everything. And it usually doesn't go exactly according to plan, but it gives me a better idea of, okay, what needs to get done when, And how
Yes.
can I move things around? If I need to shift it to another day, I can. It's just like everything is so much calmer. And we discovered that like peace is the word, like peace
It's
is
just
my main goal. That is how I function optimally. If things can be peaceful, then I will be at my maximum performance. And
yeah,
so trying to prioritize peace through
yeah.
saying no to things that don't fit.
Yeah, exactly. And something I do with my clients is human design, and it gives you an insight into your energy. So Kara is a manifestor. I mean, she gets things started, and when things are going well, aligning physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, she feels peace. For me, I feel satisfaction, which sounds the same, but it's not. So how has that affected your health? How has that changed your health, like with your workouts, your eating, and
Yeah.
your nutrition?
Yeah, absolutely. I do definitely feel like I have way more energy. I've talked about how in the past I would get the Sunday blues every Sunday because like looking
Yeah.
forward to the new week with dread instead of being excited about what's going on. But now I have way more energy to be able to hop up right out of bed when my alarm
Yeah.
goes off. I don't hit the snooze button ever. And then all the tips too on just like the food prep. I need to get back into making that time, scheduling the time to. So that's what I put down as my goal right now of where I need to shift my focus is the nutrition because I found that in the past when I've spent the time to do the food prep, to have the healthy snacks ready to go, to have the idea of what I'm going to eat when, it's so
Yes.
much easier. And then you're not.
It's summertime, you got the two boys, the husband, and everyone's going in three different directions. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's so great. And I love to see how you did transform. And it's so amazing. You look awesome. I know we're going to meet up soon. Kara's in California. So, what's so great about the coaching program is I get to meet people from all over the world, and you have a safe place to go where you can come and you can grow and you can learn and you can lose weight and you can get a handle on your life. But how do you feel now? Last thing, how do you feel as Kara? Do you feel like you found yourself? How do you feel after
I
working?
definitely am way more comfortable in like listening to my intuition. That was another thing about, and I think that goes into the authenticity that you touched on.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so I just feel way happier. I wish I
Yeah.
had better words.
Those are
Just like,
goodly words. No, that's great. Thank you, Kara. It's good to see your face.
it's good
And
to see you too.
no,
Thank you for having me here today.
oh yeah, I'm so glad you could come. It was awesome. I hope you learned some new things, even though you're a pro. Royce, do you want to share a few things working with me? Hello, Royce. It's good to see your face. How were you before you started working with me, and how are you now?
Well, I was in chaos because I came from a life-threatening injury before
Mhm.
so life was sort of in chaos and I was trying to recover from an injury. I was trying to get my life back together and come with big questions on nutrition
Mhm.
and healthy eating, and that was my goal. And we have accomplished that goal, and it's working very well for me. So
That's
I'm
great.
very happy about that. So I've really changed my eating completely thanks to Mo and great guidance along the way. So the organization today, as far as the information, works really well for me. I have done some of those things, but I liked tweaking it from what you said today.
Awesome. Yes, I know. And you're a busy lady. I mean, there is no grass growing under Royce's feet, that's for sure. He's heavily involved in St. Jude's and doing all the good things. And I said, yeah, we need to keep you healthy. You got a lot of important things yet to do on this
Yes,
planet.
yes,
So,
absolutely.
the next 30 years.
Yes, and I do a lot of the stacking that you talked about of putting things together, and that works so well. So
Yes.
I have a very structured morning, which
Yeah.
works very well for me.
I love that. And the last thing I want to say, I love that you told me that people came up to you and said that you looked great, that you were looking awesome.
Yes, yes, very surprising to me too. Thank you. I'm doing very well.
That's awesome. That's so great to hear. Thank you so much for sharing. I love it. It's good to see you, Royce. It's always good to
Good
see
to
your
see
face
you too, dear.
for sure. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Last one. And then we're going to do a Q&A because I want to answer all your burning questions. So I want to bring up Karen really quickly. Karen, tell us what you have achieved because you're amazing. Karen is a rock star. She's had many, many, many obstacles along the way, and she just keeps going and just keeps making things happen. And it's so awesome.
My biggest thing was it's a mindset thing. I was always told, I'm going to become a diabetic because it's family history. Well, I became a diabetic because, obviously family history. But with the process and everything there, I worked very hard, but became a non-diabetic just almost a year ago now. So have been able to change my whole mindset with it doesn't define me, I defined it. So making that happen is huge. Still have a lot of work to do with some other things, but it does go down into your mindset of how you feel, how you partake in it. I crave the salty or sweet. It doesn't matter which way. But what I did to help myself, and it can help you guys or not, I allowed myself to have it, but I minimized my time. So if there's 7 days in a week, and if you eat it 7 days a week, that's when the problem occur. So cut it down to 5 or cut it down to 3 and then
Yes.
do that for a month, cutting it down. And then next month, cut it down from there. And then by the time you're done, you've set a pattern and your brain has honestly reshifted and it no longer tastes good and you no longer crave it. So it
Yes.
is something that I have done. I put in the chat earlier that my bagels, I was a bagel person. Every morning I had to have my bagels. Absolutely.
I know.
Until I realized what it was doing to me. You know, I cut out my bagels. I cut out certain foods to find something a little bit healthier to do with that.
Do you feel deprived? Do you feel like you're missing out?
No, I don't, because I still every once in a while will go to the trail mix and I'll pull a thing of trail mix. But I find myself when I eating the trail mix, I eat everything except for the M&Ms. And then I put them in a Ziploc bag, and my husband comes out and he's like, "Where did these M&Ms come from?" I'm like, "Well, it's from the trail mix," and he just laughs. And
That's
I
so
eat them
funny.
in a pattern. I eat where I eat my almonds, and then I'll eat like the cashews or the nuts. And the last things to go are like the raisins. So if I'm full, I don't go to them. I put them in a bag and I just save them for later. Or in my case, I never get around to them.
Yeah, yes. And you're on your way to Wonderland and you've dropped several clothing sizes.
Yes, I have. I have gone from a pant size of a 24 down to yesterday, I got myself into an 18 to add a belt too. In my shirts, I went from almost a 4X down to a large.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And I love working with you because people who come to this understanding, you don't even have to understand your worth because that really does unfold as we go through this process. Like I said, we lose our identity, we lose our value, and it's so easy to do with all these labels slapped on us. So in this process, y'all, you would not recognize Karen from when I first met her. She was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Karen." And now she's like running events and she's amazing. And so seeing that transformation, I promise I wouldn't cry. I may get teary sometimes during calls because it's such a joy and an honor to watch people step into their lives and own their health and to just really love themselves and all the things that come from it. And Karen, you're just a shining example of that. So thank you so much. I appreciate you
Thank
so
you.
much. You're so welcome. Awesome. Okay, a few things left I want to share, and then I'm going to open it up to the floor because I want to hear from you. Would you love to feel that kind of momentum for yourself? So the people that we just talked to, and we were talking about this yesterday, you go to these webinars and sometimes it's all testimonials. I'm like, what am I learning here? So I'm hoping you guys learned something from today and that you see from real people that the benefit of this modality. And it's not just about time, it's about how you feel about yourself. It's how you use your energy. It's how you show up for yourself every day. So can you picture not starting over again this summer? Who here has started over again and again and again? Yes, yes, yes. And we've started over. Yes. So what happens next? You now have the awareness and the clarity. You know what you need to do. I love what Nina said about a snapshot, a calendar being a snapshot of your health. Absolutely. And what you need is support and structure. So I'm going to drag you through this because I love what I do so much. I don't know if you picked up on that, but I love to see the transformation in people. I love to see people showing up for themselves. It's electric. It is absolutely amazing. And what's beautiful about group coaching is that we share in all these experiences. And plus, you have time alone with me. So, would having a plan, a coach, and a community make sticking with it easier this time? Because if you have tried this before, if you've done all the things, do you think that having a plan, having a clear vision, I'm about to tell you what that looks like, and a community making sticking it easier with it this time? Do you think that working with someone, having a community would make it easier? I guarantee you it will. So let me introduce you to a focused 90-day experience designed for busy women. This is the group coaching for busy women who want to lose weight, gain energy, and feel amazing this summer, even while you're traveling. That's what the number one thing is like, but I'm traveling. Yes, I actually have a system for that as well. And you can still have the margaritas, and you can still have the Mexican food or wherever it is you're going, and you can go to theme parks and not lose your mind. Structured coaching, macro strategy, and momentum without starting over again. I love doing the same thing over and over again. It's like hitting your head against the wall and expecting a different outcome. No, that doesn't work. What's included? It's $9.97 for Summer Ready Reset. Kickoff strategy call. We go deep. I want to know about you, your habits. We go deep to understand what it is you need because this is about you. I don't believe in those cookie cutter, everyone is the same. No, you're a unique, wonderfully individually human being made to be unique. And this is where we start. Monthly goal setting call to keep you on track. So we have a 4-week plan as we go through it. It's what you need to do to lose the weight. Custom macro report and perfect plate strategy. Oh, I didn't mention the fact that I guarantee you losing 15 pounds in 3 months. So that's the biggest thing about the Summer Ready Reset. What's a custom macro report? That's you, baby. That is you. I put in your physical attributes and we come up with exactly what you need to lose weight and keep it off. And the perfect plate strategy, what does that look like? You know, what your eating looks like. 4 times a month, we have group coaching, brag and accountability with people like some of the people you met, and they're amazing. It's an uplifting community. Monthly masterclasses. I do masterclasses like this by listening to my clients. We've talked about hormones. We've talked about insulin resistance. We've talked about things that are relevant to you. I'm listening to you. I only want to give you what is going to serve you. And the Pro Coach app, it's an app that we use and email support. And I check in on you 3 times a week to make sure you're staying on your goals, staying on track. And then the private client portal and a nutrition map. So the nutrition map is going to really help you get a visual on what you need to do. And you'll know exactly what to eat, how to stay on track, and feel supported every step. So I have a pay in full bonus. So at week 6, halfway, we do a one-on-one coaching call to check in to make sure that everything is on plan. Like we have a good 45-minute call where we go deep. We figure out what's going to happen. We do have a monthly one-on-one 20-minute call to reset your goals and to check in as well. A fat loss kickstart recipe pack. So that gives you everything about fat loss, how to do it, and the science behind it. A VIP fast track feedback. Submit your food log and schedule for early coaching. This is where you show me what you're eating for 3 days, and then we go granular and we make the shifts that you need to make in your diet. And they're not even dramatic. They're small things that are going to really affect the outcome. And these bonuses are only there for those who commit by June 1st. I got a guarantee. Guarantee. I love a guarantee because I've joined coaching programs and paid a lot more than this. And there is no guarantee, but I want to give you a guarantee. So if you follow the plan that we create together that is custom to you, you attend the sessions as much as you can because life happens. I get that. And stay engaged and still don't lose the weight. I will keep coaching you until you do. That is my guarantee because I believe in you. I believe anyone who wants to come into this coaching program, they are ready. They're like, I am so done with all the diets. I am so done with all the gimmicks and people out there that just want to keep taking your money for eternity because all they care about is your wallet. But I believe in you and I know if you join me for this, that's because you know that you can do it. But I already know that you can do it. I know that you can. I did it. If I can do it, Anybody can do it. I'm not a smart dog, but I know what a slow learner is. So it took me 15 years to figure this out. So I'm going to cut that down exponentially for you so that you can get on with your life, make the rest of your life the best of your life. And I believe in this process. This process works. So let's go. First 5 people will get a 3-hour VIP planning session. That is, I know it sounds like a long time. Don't worry, we'll take breaks. We'll have water breaks. We'll have food breaks. But we're going to really go deep. I'm going to do your human design. It's only available this week. 90-day calendar map. We're going to look at the full 90 days. We're going to map everything. We're going to reverse engineer it and engineer it. Personalized goal ladder, the markers you can hit along the way. Deep dive life audit worksheets so that we know exactly what's happening in your life. Where's your mindset? What's happening in your day-to-day that's keeping you from where you want to be? And habit stacking blueprint. We're going to look at what you're already doing and finagle some habits in there. Not all at once, y'all. We don't want to make it overwhelming. We want to make it doable and successful. So, and then custom morning and evening routine templates. We're going to go through and we're going to create those morning routines that work for you. And we're going to do the evening. I've done these before. They work like gangbusters, life changing. And meal timing strategy and schedule snapshots. Like the meal timing strategy and schedule snapshot, that's where we look at your schedule and we figure out what's going to work for you. And I guide you through this process so that you won't feel like you don't have someone on your side. I am right there walking the path with you. I have been to the mountaintop, but I'm not there anymore. I'm down here walking the path with you, enjoying the view as you progress up this mountain. And it's beautiful. And an optional fast start food log review. We're going to go really deep. I'm going to give you the meal map that goes with that. So the final call to action before Q&A, your background may shape you. Where we've been, we all have. This is where we are right now. The past, we can't undo that. We cannot undo everything that happened to us in our life. We can't undo that bag of Oreos that might have fallen into our mouth during that traumatic time of the month. We cannot undo what has happened, but we are right here now. This future is completely unwritten, which is amazing. It hasn't happened yet. And that future happens in your calendar. So if you want to sign up, I'm going to put these links in the chat. So if you want to book a call with me and have a further discussion, go get deep on it, figure out what else I have. Maybe it's not this. Maybe there's something else you want to work with me. I have other offers that I can work with you that might work for you. So this is your journey you get to live. So you get to show up. You showed up today because you know that you have something and there's something more for you in your life and you want that freedom, you want that liberty, and that's amazing. And I'm just your guide. I'm your Sherpa. I'm your health Sherpa, and I'm here to help you. So thank you so much. Oh, I think we lost Nina was here. Oh no, she was here. You're going to ask something, Nina. Sorry.
I have a question. Thank you so much for everything you shared, Mo. It was very insightful, and I can see how I don't use my calendar. And I feel like I don't know how to think like you. I probably need that help on how to see the calendar differently. So I'm excited about this program. But also the question about you wake up 30 minutes, you have to eat. So I wake up at 5 and I spend like 10, 15 minutes in the bathroom. Then I feed my cat and then I go on this walking meditation.
Nice.
And the walking meditation is an hour. And I feel like if I eat right away, then my walking meditation is later. And then also I'm walking with like a full stomach and I walk pretty fast.
This is such a great question. When I say eat, I eat like a third of a banana and a teaspoon of nut butter, or like 2 bites of Greek yogurt and a little bit of banana. So you're looking for a fat and a protein first thing in the morning.
But
That's
not
it.
like 30 grams of fat.
No,
Protein.
just a little, like 2 spoonfuls of Greek yogurt and some berries. That's it.
Okay, and then eat a real breakfast.
So think of it as splitting it up. Like
Okay.
it's like your appetizer.
Okay, that makes so much
like
more sense.
Because your lady body's going like, I want food. Yesterday I remembered, because I'm getting into this habit. Before I go to my workout, I go downstairs now, I get my banana or whatever it is I have, like even just a slice of apple and some almond butter or something, just to do that, because this is a new habit I'm creating. I wouldn't eat until I got back from my workout. So Tuesday, I'm walking in with my weights and I can hear my stomach like, you didn't feed me. I'm like, oh, so sorry. And what's really cool is that you're creating hunger cues. So when you feed yourself, then you're starting to get into your natural biorhythms. Like, okay, she fed me. This is good. It's like a trust exercise, you know? And
Okay,
then
so I'm gonna feed my kid myself. And then
yes,
I'll
feed the
what I
cat and
want.
feed yourself. Yeah. So then I go to work, I work out, and I come home and then I have my big breakfast with my almond or my avocado and my eggs and some sort of protein and my coffee, and it's awesome. And then by the time, like if I eat that at 7, by the time 9:30 rolls around or 10, I'm like, my body's telling me because it's so easy to get distracted. So if you know you're gonna have a crazy busy day, that's why I schedule it in. I put reminders in my phone that pop up and it says protein shake or protein snack because protein is not just a current thing, it's actually been a thing for a while now, but getting enough protein through the day is huge because it's going to stabilize your blood sugar, it's going to help you feel satisfied and satiated. And so there's all kinds of different ways you can get protein into your body. And in my program, we actually address that very thing so that you know how much protein you need and how to get it into your everyday.
Thank you so much for the masterclass today.
Oh, you're so welcome. And remember that eating in 30 minutes, it is doable. It really is doable because you don't have to do anything fancy. Just have a little something. Protein and fat. So nope, don't get up and have like a couple bites of bagel. You're shooting yourself in the foot.
Okay.
Thank you, Nina. Awesome. All right. Does anyone else have any questions before we head out?
How long is the whole program, Mo?
The whole program is 3 months, so 90
Oh,
days. And so
nice.
it's broken down into if you do the VIP, the 3 months, the 90 days, we do a 3 month vision. And that's how I do it in my program. We do quarterly goals, and then we break it down to the 3 months. So what you want to achieve in 3 months, what do you need to achieve each month to get to that goal in 3 months, and what do you need to do this week, and what do you need to do today? So we reverse engineer those things. And it sounds complicated, but honest to God, I get so easily confused. It's something that's really doable because it's all based on what you do and what your life is. If everyone is satisfied, thank you so much for coming out today. I hope you found lots of value in this masterclass. Reach out to me. The links in the chat to reach out for a call, have a conversation. Even if it's not about the program, reach out to me if you have questions. If you think there's something you could be doing better with your diet, with your scheduling, with your health. If you have a certain concern, just reach out to me, schedule a call, and then we can figure that out together. It might be just a simple little shift that you need to do to get you on the right path to get you where you want to be. And that's what makes all the difference. That's why I love what I do. So sign up for a call. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. All right, take care. As I sign off every time, take care. God bless. Love you. That is a command, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.